How to change your dirt bike brake pads start to finish.
We're gonna loosen up 2 caliper bolts, just like that, so we can slide the caliper off and get the brake pads. Now we're gonna be using some pliers to pull out the retainer pin. That's what holds the brake pads in place. Once that's out, the pads will slide right out. Make sure not to lose that pin. You'll need is to secure the new pads. Alright, I'm pulling out the old brake pad. Just one came out easy. The other one, yeah, it was stuck. Like, it didn't want to leave. Here's the new pad next to the old one. And yeah, the scene was cooked. No wonder I wasn't stopping. See that gray piece? That's the anti-rattle spring. It keeps your brake pads from shaking around.
See, the bars have to be on the side. They gotta stay that way. As I slide it in, straight in, like that, simple.
And listen to that click. That means the brake pad snapped in just right. Nice and secure. Now we're sliding the pin back in and bending the tip just a little. That locks it in place so it doesn't back out while you're riding. Now I'm using a flat screwdriver to push the brake pads apart. That way the caliper can slide back over the disc nice and easy. Now I'm hand tightening the caliper bolt using this gray extender, not a 4-wrench, but it gets the job done. Not the most professional tool, but hey, it works. Now I'm doing the rear brake. Same process as the front. Just loosen the bolts with a wrench to get the caliper off. Now my dad taking out the retaining pin from the rear caliper. That's what holds the brake pads in place. Gotta pop that out before we can swap them. Here's a look at the old brake pad next to the new one. Yeah, that old one was done. Time for a fresh set. Now my dad installing the anti-rattle it, that little gray piece that sits between the brake pads. It helps keeps everything in place and reduce noise. So here's my dad trying to get the caliper back on over the disc, but the pads kept closing in. We used a flathead to gently pry them open, and of course the camera cut right before we got on it. Classical. The most satisfying part doesn't make it into the video, but trust me, it went on smooth. Now I'm tightening the caliper bolts by hand using that gray extender again, just making sure everything's nice and snug around the disc. When you're done with your old brake pads, always put it in the trash can. See you later at the dump. Alright, some new brake pads in, freshly new, and let's check out the brakes. Alright, let's pull it. That is super dialed. Let's check out the back one. I think the back one needs a little work, but it's normal. See you guys in the next video. Peace.